Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Philosophossum, and I've been getting pretty stressed out lately, talking about things like politics and COVID. It wears down on you after a while. So I figured, you know what, let's just have some fun. So in this video, we're not going to be tackling some serious political issue. We're just going to laugh at something that's funny. Now, I'm sure you've all seen this video before, it's been circulating around the internet, but in case you haven't seen it, basically what happens is a transgender woman goes into a Gamestop, the employee behind the counter allegedly misgendered them, and to say that the woman wasn't particularly happy about this would be an understatement. So let's have a look.
We're not doing credit. You're gonna give me my fucking money back.
So because the recording begins mid-conversation, we don't really have the full context on what the issue is here. It appears as if the woman is trying to return something, and she's sort of arguing with the employee about that. I think what's happening here is that this person purchased the game before they began transitioning, so the name that's on the receipt is different from the person's current name. So the employee can't verify whether or not this is in fact the person who purchased the game. Again, I don't entirely know what this dispute is over, since the recording began mid-conversation, but that's the theory.
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here and your wife's mouth.
It's kind of difficult to hear since the audio levels are a little bit low, but somebody off screen appears to be taking issue with this person's use of vulgar language, noting of course that there are children in the store. Now, when they bring this to her attention, they address her as sir, and that is like a hairpin trigger for this person. She goes from 0 to 10 in an instant.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
I'm
It
sorry.
is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to.
They mention calling the police, which is probably a smart idea, considering there's an 8-foot tall angry person in there right now, who looks like they're about to knock somebody's lights out.
You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay?
She's in there just trying to shop, and you're in there causing a scene, potentially putting people's safety at risk. So yeah, it is kind of her business. And I don't blame her for calling you out on your behavior. As a matter of fact, I commend her for it, because I don't think I'd have the courage to do the same in her situation.
Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was in general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Like, holy shit, she is getting really pissed about this. She is like screaming at the top of her lungs, arguing with this employee over something that's honestly really, really minor. And this isn't even the worst of it. You think she's angry now, in a second she's about to go full on ballistic.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
Like, this is unreal. This woman is actually trying to challenge this minimum wage employee, who's just there minding his own business, trying to do his job, to a fight, because he accidentally addressed her as the wrong gender. If you would have shown this to me without any context, I would have thought it was an SNL sketch, not something that actually happened in real life.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
That part where she kicks over the display gets me every time. Like, I could watch that scene 100 times and still laugh. Like, this is a grown-ass adult throwing a childish tantrum. Like, I don't think even toddlers throw this big of a tantrum.
I need your corporate number because I'm going to call them and talk about how it's misgendered several times in this store.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll care.
I need your corporate number now. Get it for me now.
She's fucking barking demands at them like she owns the place. Like, bitch, they don't have to give you shit. You're lucky they haven't kicked your ass out the door for the way you're behaving.
Calm down and stop cussing.
Give me your
Stop
corporate
hitting
number.
bitch during profit.
Well, I'm going to ask you for the 5th time to stop calling me a man, because quite clearly I am not.
And I apologize. I'm sorry for that, ma'am. I will get you that number. Is that okay?
Yes,
I'm
get it
just
for me
asking-
now.
I'm asking you to stop
Get it
cussing.
for me now.
You know you can find it online, right? Like, this literally took me 5 seconds to find. I wonder what her reaction would be if she called the corporate number and the person on the phone addressed her as sir. She'd probably, like, crush the phone in her hand.
I'm not cussing. I'm not cussing.
You were swearing like a sailor not even 30 seconds ago. Don't even try to claim that you're not cussing.
Give me the damn number now, please. Ooh!
I like how she briefly tries being calm and polite for a split second. Like, you can hear her say please, but then it's immediately followed by a loud angry grunt.
Ma'am, I apologize.
Ooh!
I love how she's making these loud, angry grunting sounds. Like she's about to turn into the Hulk or something.
I will get you that number right now.
No, you're just gonna keep bumping your gums. You're just gonna keep bumping your gums and disrespecting trans people in this store.
How exactly are they being disrespectful? Like, they have every justification to throw your ass out the door, and in spite of that, they've been nothing but courteous and helpful to you this entire time. The only one being disrespectful here is you.
Which I plan on telling the entire LGBTQ community.
Like what? Does the LGBT community have an official phone number or something? Is every gay person in the country on some sort of a mailing list?
You're going to lose money over this.
Well, GameStop has been losing money for various reasons for a while now, but I doubt an entire big corporation like GameStop is going to lose a significant amount of money because one person had a bad experience. And it's not even like it was that bad of a bad experience. Like the way this woman was reacting, you'd think these employees were like super rude and mean to her. But no, the employee just accidentally used the wrong gender. Holy shit, woman, get a grip. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Someone trying to convince others that they're female by throwing the biggest masculine testosterone-induced rage fit I've ever seen. I gotta give props to this employee for keeping his composure. He was able to remain calm and professional even while there was a gorilla-sized lunatic screaming at and threatening him. If I was in that employee's position, I'd probably run into the back office to hide, lock the door, and call the police. I'm honestly surprised that the police never got involved with this.
But wait! There's more!
So of course this whole scene was captured on video, and once it began circulating around the internet, it began getting the attention of a lot of people, including the news media. This led to the person in the video being interviewed by a news organization. The video clip of this news interview is available online, and it does actually give some additional perspectives on what happened that day, so I figured it's worth having a look at.
Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I will give them credit for blurring out the employee's face, because let's be honest, he's just an employee who is there trying to do his job, and in the process he inadvertently ends up caught in a situation which he most likely wanted nothing to do with.
This video from right here in New Mexico is going viral online. A transgender woman losing her cool when she says an employee at an Albuquerque video game store called her sir instead of ma'am.
Losing her cool is putting it mildly. She straight up had a fit of rage. She looked like she was about to beat the crap out of someone.
The video has been viewed more than 1 million times on YouTube over the last 2 weeks, and it's getting people talking. Lots of people have made fun of the woman for her outburst.
Myself included.
Others say she did the right thing by defending her gender identity.
Why am I not surprised that there are actually people out there who are dumb enough to defend what she did? That wasn't her defending her gender identity. Her gender identity was never at risk because an employee accidentally used the wrong pronouns. That was her throwing a tantrum like a little baby. That's it. Simple as that. There's nothing about it to be glorified.
Now only on 4, she's telling her side of the story to Kai Porter.
So the way that this person behaved was absolutely ridiculous, and I can't imagine what defense anyone could possibly make for it. However, that being said, there are two sides to every story, so it is only fair that we listen to her side of it as well. After all, who knows, maybe there's more to this situation than was caught on camera.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
It's the video seen by millions. Tiffany Moore, a transgender woman who recently started her transition.
So it's important to note that this woman only recently began her transition as of this incident. Now, they don't specifically mention how long ago, so we don't know if she began transitioning a day, a week, a month prior to this incident. But the reason this is important to make note of is because if this woman only began her transition recently as of this encounter, then it means that she most likely would still have a lot of her old masculine features, because transitioning from one gender to the other takes time. It's a process. So most likely this employee mistakenly used the wrong gender because the person only recently began their transition, as opposed to the narrative they're going to try to spin, which is that it was an intentional act of malicious hatred.
Yelling at an employee inside this Albuquerque GameStop.
I wouldn't call that yelling. I'd call it deranged, threatening behavior.
Moore says the cashier repeatedly called her sir instead of the gender pronoun she identifies with while she was trying to return a game she bought for her son.
Oh dear Lord, this person is a parent? This lunatic is actually raising children? Oh, Lord help them.
Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was general.
Right beforehand, you f***ing said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a f***ing sir.
I apologize. I apologize now.
I was so angry at that point because literally 5 or 6 times he had called me sir and got me so fuming angry, and I was cussing.
Look, people get angry sometimes. Anger is a completely natural human emotion, but you still have to control your behavior. If that situation escalated into someone getting hurt, you still would be responsible.
The internet responding to the viral clip with memes like Superman, Aquaman, and Macho Man, Tranny Savage.
Okay, that last one is actually pretty funny.
Tranny is a slang term for transgender that many find offensive and derogatory.
Not really. I mean, even a lot of trans people use the word tranny.
What's really sad is it's bringing so many bigots out of the woodwork.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say that you're choosing to define bigot as anyone who criticized how you behaved in that store that day.
But more, a local MC and rapper isn't letting the memes get to her. She's using her newfound viral fame to raise awareness about the transgender community, and she even wrote a song to get her message out there.
Yeah, so apparently this person is pursuing a career in music, but I've done some research and I've yet to find a song or album released by a Tiffany Moore.
We're humans just like you. We're people just like you.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is arguing that trans people aren't people.
We have kids, we have parents, we have brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins.
Yeah, and do you think all those family members would be proud of your behavior in that store if they watched that video?
We're just trying to live.
Yeah, we know that you're just trying to live. Everyone's just trying to live. Like what? Are you afraid that someone's out to kill you because you're trans or something?
Ma'am, I apologize. I apologize, ma'am.
As for how Moore handled the situation inside the store with that expletive-filled outburst,
And yeah, I could have reacted a whole lot better.
Yeah, I'd say so. You were screaming at the top of your lungs, you kicked over a display, you made everyone in that store fear for their safety, all because someone accidentally addressed you as the wrong gender. Like, this could have been handled so much more calmly and civilly. Like, she could have just said, hey, just so that you're aware, I'm in the process of transitioning, I identify as female, I prefer to be addressed as female. There's a very high likelihood that that would have settled the issue.
But you know what? I look back at it, if I could, I wouldn't change a single thing. I would do it 100,000 times again.
So you acknowledge that you could have handled the situation better, but at the same time you wouldn't change anything about the way you behaved given the opportunity to. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I would kick over that display 100,000 times again.
I'm sure you're willing to kick things around as long as it's someone else's property. If it was your own property, you probably wouldn't be as eager to kick it around.
And because my actions were justified.
Justified according to who? Like, I'm sorry, but being angry doesn't give you a right to throw a tantrum and destroy other people's property. I'm not sure what was in those boxes she kicked over, but they look pretty expensive. She could have potentially been on the hook for a lot of money.
I mean, it was blatant and malicious hate. It was blatant and malicious misgendering.
Yeah, no. The employee can be heard multiple times apologizing and referring to her as ma'am in the video. This was very clearly and obviously unintentional.
and we reached out to GameStop's corporate office for a statement. We'll let you know when we hear back.
I don't think the corporate offices have much involvement with the day-to-day operations of individual stores, so I don't think they'd really have much to say regarding this. If anything, their PR department is probably telling them not to get involved with it. But anyways, yeah, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This has been Philosophossum, making stupidity play dead. Until next time, take care.